Welcome to the Mindful Making video podcast. This is a podcast about yarn, and it's about knitting, and it's about making, and it's about the joy that working with our hands and the process of creating something with our hands creates for us. So I hope you will enjoy the next half hour or so with me and have a project you're working on, a bit of knitting, crocheting, whatever you fancy, and have a hot cup of tea, coffee, maybe a little sweet cookie thing. I can just imagine sitting there, on the couch, knitting away with a cup of coffee and then a chocolate or a little cookie on the side, which would be nice. So I hope you find the best place to sit down and relax for the next half hour or so. I'm Jane and I'm Danish, and I live here in Hornsby Heights, north of Sydney in Australia, and we've lived here for 8 years now. So I think we're going into our 9th Christmas here. For 7 of those 9 Christmases, we have had visitors from Denmark celebrating the holiday season with us. This year, there will be no visitors, unfortunately, but for good reasons. So we will celebrate alone, but then we are celebrating Christmas Eve with another Danish family who will come here, which would be very nice. So we're looking forward to that. So today I thought to, first of all, I just have to give an apology. And especially if you are a returning viewer, thank you for coming back. Despite the last episode, which had problems with the sound, so my voice was quite low. And then I added in some small video clips where the sound was just way too high. So I apologize for that. And I think the reason was I made 2 mistakes. So I had a microphone on, but I don't think it was actually turned on. And then usually when I edit in those small video clips, I reduce the sound because I know that my voice can't project to the same volume as the music does. And I forgot that last time. So apologies. I hope you weren't too damaged, sort of I'm sorry. So I hope this will be better. I will try to do it better this time at least. So that's the apology. If you're a new viewer, welcome. It's so good to have you here. I would be interested to know how you found my little corner of the internet. Was it through a post? Was it through a friend recommendation or sharing? Please let me know in the comments below. That would be lovely. So today I thought, of course, we would talk about knitting. I haven't been knitting so much lately. I feel a bit disappointed and a bit disappointed in and also missing out. I think I guess it's just that work is ramping up towards the end of the year, and the levels of energy and time left at the end of the day have been very low. So there hasn't been much time and energy for knitting, and so I feel a bit disappointed about that. But hopefully it will come back. For sure it will come back, I know, and I need it to come back as well, because that is my respite. That's where I relax and rejuvenate and re-energize. So I have to get some knitting back, more knitting back in my life. It hasn't disappeared, of course not, but I just want more of it back again. So I'll share a few of the projects that I've finished They are sort of small projects, and we are in the region of socks. So I have been knitting a few socks. Some of them have already been sent off to be gifted, but I choose to show them here. You know, if the recipients watch it, they won't know who will receive those items. So I'll try to put in a few pictures of what I've made and what has been, which is in the mail now to overseas. And then I've also picked out my favorite knits from this year, not necessarily in terms of the project and knitting, but they have all been wonderful knitting projects. Everything that I've knitted this year has been a pleasure, of course. But I have decided to take out those knits that I've used the most this year. And there is a color theme going on this year. So it is sort of in this rosy pink. So if I pull up what I will show you and will talk about, you see there is a certain theme going on here color-wise. The inner princess. And then I think a bit of planning for next year, and then sort of what is happening in our life as such. So we are in December. It's a month of preparing for the festive seasons and for Christmas, for those who celebrate that. In the background here, you can see we have the stockings up. Let's just see if I can gently turn the camera. It looks like they are up in the ceiling, but they're not. So I made these stockings a few years back. So it's the children, well, now young adults, each have one, and then my husband and I have the two sitting underneath. And usually, if we're lucky, there is a gift in the stockings every Sunday. So that's how we work here, and that's been our tradition for many years. And now, as the kids have grown older and are now young adults, they have joined in. So my husband and I get a present as well each Sunday. Mine have been in a theme of tea. So first Sunday I got this little teapot that I have here in my home office where you are. And this Sunday I got a tea calendar. So every day I open up each day I open it up to see what tea hits inside. So that's a lovely little treat for me here on my workday. Also, I have a candle going. So I'm still a few days behind, but I have it sitting here next to me to cozy up in December. Well, let's dig into some of the knitting parts. And in terms of finished objects and this section, we might call it's socks, because it's about socks. So I've been, quite thrilled about starting knitting socks. I didn't do that for a long time. And I think in the last podcast, I showed you a few that I've started, and I continued. So the first sort of after last podcast, I finished the ones that were on the needles, and then I moved into doing a shortie sock. So this is a yarn that I had in my stash. It's just a leftover from another pair of socks, and I just started, and they are not completely similar or the same, but I have used them quite a lot actually. It's just the fitting around the heel is very good. It's a heel flap gusset type heel, and then a rolled hem on the ankle. I can't remember what the yarn is. It's Rose City Rollers, and it's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's by Mara Catherine Bryner. So you can find it there. I have used these very much, and they fit very well. So that was one of the first pairs I did. Then also in the last episode, I talked about that I wanted to do toe up, to learn to do toe up socks, and 2 at a time, and also a fish lips kiss heel. Let me just see. This one is then the next pair I did, because I had. See, I don't have a sock blocker. I think that's been on my wish list for Christmas for the last few years. So I can look all professional. So I had this beautiful multicolored yarn left over from a jumper I knitted to Astrid a few years back. It's a hedgehog fiber yarn, and the colorway is Goblin, and it's one of my favorite colorways. It's just have these, it's just super fun with the lime green and the pinks and the yellows and oranges, and then on a black base. So I knew I didn't have enough for, well, I didn't know how much I had left. I think there was probably 45 grams or something left. So this pair started from the top, and then I used some black yarn I had in the stash, and I knitted down to the appropriate length and did the fish lips kiss heel, which was very easy. I really enjoyed that. I haven't worn these enough to say if that's the best fit for my foot, but and I think I actually made them 1 centimeter too long. I don't know whether I will fix that, or whether I will just accept that they are just slightly too big. So the beauty of toe up, so I did toe up and I did 2 at a time. So I knew how much yarn I had left, and I did the foot, the most important part first, the foot, then the heel, and then whatever yarn I had left, I just used in the leg here. So it's a short ankle sock, and then finishing off with a 1x1 ribbing. But it's quite beautiful, this yarn, right? I love it. You might ask what the pattern is, and I don't know. I think it was just, I think I just Googled toe up socks and found some free instructions and patterns. And I think this one is 60 stitches on a 2.25 millimeter needle. I could have gone down, I think, to a 56 stitch for my foot. But these are very nice. Then we moved into, the other pair of socks that I made was for Christmas present. Or not, it wasn't intended for that. I was actually inspired by Hannah from Rose Hip Chick. She is doing Free Socks 2020, which is organized by Kia Spood, a Swedish podcaster. So she finds 12 free sock patterns on Ravelry, and then you knit them together, so one each month. And then I jumped on very late, so in November I jumped on and did the sock of the month of November, which was the socks on a plane, designed by lalaknits, and it has a beautiful little cable running up on the outside sort of the foot, of each foot. Very pretty, and I also did, this is a toe up pattern with a heel flap and gusset type heel that I really enjoyed, because I didn't know how to do that type of heel, but this explained it very well, and they fit it very nicely. The yarn was left over from a Christmas project, a yarn dyed by Circus Tonic Handmade, one of her Christmas collections a few years back. I used that yarn originally for the Skein Sisters shawl, so I just had half a ball left, or half a skein left. So I thought, toe up, I go as far as I can, and then they will get as long as they can get. And they turned out very well as well. They have now been wrapped and has been sent off. Don't know whether they have arrived yet. You know, there is a bit of distance up to Denmark as well from here. So eventually they will land in the winter up there. I really enjoyed that project. The next one is the December socks. I haven't started yet, and I haven't looked into it, so I can't. I have seen them, but I can't tell you in details what they are. But if you look for Free Socks 2020, there is a hashtag on Instagram. So that's the all the socks that I've made. Then of another finished project, I have knitted, it's actually quite a long time ago, I knitted the Lux Vest designed by Sanne Fjalland. I did a size small, and I used 2 yarns. So I used the super soft from Holst, which is a 100% lambswool in a fingering weight, held together with Isager silk mohair in color 60. So it has a bit of brown tone to it. And I'll put up some pictures of the Lux Vest, which is totally beautiful. That has also left Australia and is over the 7 seas somewhere. And I hope the recipient will be happy receiving this gift. So that is finally finished. As I said, I've knitted, it has been sitting basically finished for a long time. I just needed to do the finishing and sewing up those seams. So that's done, that's off. And then I thought I will move into the favorite knits of 2020. And it's my favorites in terms of wearing. When talking about wearing, let's also see what I'm wearing today, because I haven't told you that. So this is, I made this, I think in 2019 probably it was finished, or maybe, yeah, it's all a blur, isn't it? So this is what I call the super simple summer tee, because it's just round and round and round. And it is in the Glenhaven Knits color, and it's a lace weight yarn, and it has a lot of silk in it. It is super light to wear, and it's just beautiful against the skin. So although it is a bit warm for outside in the sun in 30 degrees, it is wonderful in here. And I have said previously that I would put on the pattern for this, and I will at some stage, who knows, and certainly it will appear. But I think you shouldn't be scared of going to lace weight yarn or sort of a thinner weight yarn. I know there are a lot of stitches in a project and it will take some time, but it's just this sort of light fabric. It's just very easy to wear, I think. So I really enjoy that. I actually bought 2 skeins, and here on the hem, if you can see that, that's the other color. So you can see hand dyed colors will differ from one skein to the other. Whoop. But I have enough yarn to do one more, so I will do that when testing out the pattern sometime in the new year. Who knows? But there is a bit of this dusty, rosy, pink color theme going on in 2020. So the favorite wears. Let me start with the Sarissa shawl. This is one of my latest designs, and although it was finished quite late in the year, I've used this a lot. And I will use it even more in the, I guess, when it gets cooler again. Because what I like about this is it's so lightweight, and it's very sort of gentle, squishy, and just a great shape, both in terms, for wrapping around the neck and over the shoulders. So I have really enjoyed using this, and I've brought it for we just went last weekend, we went out to a barbecue with my husband's colleagues, and had a dress with short sleeves, and then I brought this just to put over the shoulders should it be cold during the night. So I have enjoyed this immensely. Now I just have to be careful it doesn't get into the candle. Yeah, so the Sarissa shawl for sure is one of my favorites this year. Then another shawl, which was quite an interesting project because it came out of nowhere. I'm about to say, of course, there was a lot of thought put behind it, but for me, it was just, it appeared, I jumped on, and it was a knit along, basically during the early phases of our COVID lockdown. So it's a Danish designer, Annette Danielsen, who did a sectional scarf where she published a section each day for 10, 12, 14 days. And it is this one, it's called Sammen hver for sig sjal. So it's sort of together apart shawl. It's probably more a scarf than a shawl. I wear it like this. During those winter, well, here the winter or the spring month, I just had it, sitting here in the home office, bit cold, and just giving a bit of warmth around the neck was just what I needed. And it also, with the colors, it sort of gave a pop for a white shirt or dark blue jumper shirt. So I wore it a fair bit. It is worked with scraps and leftover yarns that I had sitting in my stash. So in that sense, it was good use of yarn as well. And I like the different textures and the different udtryk, expressions, but you can't say that of knitting, can you? But it's just very different, textures and stitch patterns in each of the sections, which was also both in terms of the stitch pattern, but also the construction and the shape of each of these fields and these sections were very interesting to knit. So I enjoyed this very much, and I have worn it a fair bit. So very, very nice. It is available on Instagram on Annette Danielsen's page or her feed in Danish. Yeah, but it's a lovely little thing. So I've worn that a lot. And all fingering weight again, so light, easy, good. Still remaining in the pink color theme and in the fingering weight yarns, another favorite wear is the Timely cardigan. So this is a cardigan designed by Libby Johnson at Truly Myrtle. I have used again a Christmas special yarn dyed or hand dyed yarn from Circus Sonic Handmade. This was the colorway of 2019, I think. It was called Christmas Eve or Merry Christmas or something. And then interchanged with a coast yarn, which is a cotton wool in color, I can't remember, but this sort of sandy type grey brown, and I have used this a lot, and I think it's because of the fingering weight as well, that it's just a very easy light cardigan to put on and to wear. I want to do more of this type and weight. And I think with the stripes, it's sort of toned down, if you can say that, the hand-dyed yarn, so it doesn't get too busy. So I've worn this a ton. A long, sort of long hem, rib hem down here, and it is quite fitted. So yes, I've used that a lot. So it's a Timely cardigan by Truly Myrtle. Another Truly Myrtle that I've worn a lot is the Nula. This project I think I did in 2019, and it's part of, you can see more about it in the episode called Shades of Grey, all the shades of grey, I think, where I did some summer knits in 2000, and it was Christmas 2018, January 2019. But this Nula is an oversized sort of summer top with a beautiful lace pattern on down the shoulders. Like this. It doesn't show up very well. Let me just put it like this. So you have the shoulders here, and then a wide shape, oversize, and this little thing up here is just for me to recognize what is the back. I use this very often when I go out, night out, with a camisole, black camisole underneath, black pants in the winter, or a dress or a skirt in summer. So I basically just wore it out last week, I think, where I was out with some work colleagues. So and then a long necklace, and it's just beautiful. I find it I feel really good wearing it. It's sort of soft, flowy, elegant, but with a bit of edge as well. And then I wear it with a long necklace, so I feel super cool wearing this. I have used tynd line, which is a sandness garn, and I've held it double. And it has a lot of cotton and linen. I can't remember. There is linen in it for sure, but it just drapes very well. And holding it double gives this nice gauge and fabric that I really like. And it's a good alternative for, I think in the pattern calls for orchestral, which is, I find, rather expensive, and this is a cheaper alternative, so easily substitute with tynd line, held double, or maybe line as a single strand. I can highly recommend this pattern. Lovely, lovely, lovely. finally a jumper that is on my favorite wear list every year. And has been for the last, I think, 4 years. And it's a very simple raglan, super comfy. This is worked in it's basically a lace weight. I think there was some cashmere in this yarn that I had, so it's, I think I knitted this 5 years ago or something. And it's sort of oversized, deep raglan, 3/4 length sleeves, open or fairly open neckline. So back to the yarn, a lace, I think it was a lace weight cashmere blend, held together with a silk mohair. And it's just light, fluffy and warm. And it's just so easy just throw over when it's just tiny bit cold. So, at night when it's just, you want to be comfy and cozy on the couch and warm, I throw it over, and I probably do it once a week. So this has held up very well. My absolute favorite. It was a design or I designed mine, calculated myself. So it's just a very traditional, simple, easy to wear favorite, absolute favorite jumper, sweater. So that was my favorite knitwear garments of 2020, what I've used the most. And you might say, but what about all your other designs? Don't you like them? Well, I love them, but I haven't used them as much this year. Next year, maybe, they will get into a lot of wear as well. So I think it's good to look back and just also to appreciate the garments that you made, and appreciate wearing them, showing them off, and just appreciating also the practical aspects of knitwear. And if I had to summarize then these, it's very much the lightweight that I like. Fingering weight yarn worked on a size 3.5 millimeter needle. I think those are my sort of favorite. It gives the favorite fabrics that I love to wear. So what are yours? I would be interested to hear what your favorite knits of 2020 have been. So let me know in the comments, or you can check me out on Instagram, where I'm mindfulmaking, and send me a message there as well. I haven't told you where you can find me. Yeah, well, Mindful Making on Instagram and on Facebook. On Ravelry, I'm Mindful Making AU. I also have an Etsy shop of that name. I put up my knitting designs in the Etsy shop as well, so you can find them there. On my needles, let's see what I am working on. So with my favorite oversized cozy raglan, I thought to create another one, or to make another one. So this is what I'm working on at the moment. It is again, oversized. The light is difficult here. A bit wrinkly, right? Oversized have a bit of the mohair, I'm about to say glow, that is not what I want to say, anyway. Halo, of course, the mohair halo. So it is not too long, so high waist, long, not high waist, high hip, and then generous sleeves. So this, I think I will finish the body today. And I have used a super soft lambswool and a Isager silk mohair. So this is the Isager silk mohair is this color. So it's number 47. It's a beautiful sort of metal gray blue. And I think it didn't show up too well on the screen, I admit. It's the same combination I used of yarns that I used for the Lux Vest. It's just a different color. So it's a dark gray blue tone, very nice, simple raglan oversized jumper that I think I would, that would be next year consistent for favorite wear, I'm sure. It is a bit warm to work on this outside at the moment. But inside at night on the couch, this is the pattern is not available yet, but who knows. Another thing that I've worked on are just some small hearts, sort of felted hearts. And I just finished sewing some up yesterday, and they are ready to be thrown in the washing machine, and then they will felt. This one needs extra felting, so put it in again. So these are easier to bring when you're outside and in the heat, in the 30 degrees heat. So I've done a few of them, but that will be it now. Nothing more. So when they are done, I will just add a little string here so they can hang as ornaments. I'm going to a work Christmas celebration where we would bring a gift. So I'll bring 4 of these. So they are almost done. It's the party is on Thursday, so I better get the felting going. So now that's what I have been working on and my favorite knits. And then during just the last few minutes, I have bought some new yarn that I wanted to show you. Nothing really, really fancy, but I, with my new love for sock knitting, I wanted some simple, elegant. A simple sock yarn. It's just a sturdy, easy to use workhorse of a sock yarn. And I like the Lang yarns wearable sock yarn. So I got this might maybe the color theme for next year. A selection of grays that I want to put together. I would use these grays for the Free Socks 2020 December design, which is a colorwork sock. So I thought I would just tone it down with some lovely grays. And also the male members of my family love a basic gray sock. So I've bought some of these that I would use and I will work with into next year. So that's nice. They just arrived yesterday. Very quick, fast. I bought this at sorry for the rattle. at Sunspun Yarn in Melbourne, and I think I had the package arrived 2 days after I put in the order. So they have the wearable yarn, and they are also stockist of the Isager yarn. I will just go and pick out 3 more yarns that I bought a month ago or something on a sale, and just, you know, scrolling through Instagram, and there's just a lot of temptations out there. I'll get them. From Melbourne City Dye Works had, I think there was a sale or something, 20% off. So I bought these 2 skeins of sock yarn. Very pretty. They could easily go into a nice fade as well. So very pretty. Oops. So it is called, this colorway is called Sylvie. And this more pink is called Berries and Custard. Very pretty. And it is a 80% merino, 20 nylon. 334 meters on 100 grams. I also bought this, which is a self-striping sock yarn. Completely different to the grays I just showed you. These are just fun. And I wanted to do a pair of self-striping for myself, and just maybe shorties in self-striping would be nice. I think this will be my Christmas treat project. I think. Isn't it fun? So that was Melbourne City Dye Works. Another beautiful yarn dye here in Australia, working with natural dyes, and, you know, collecting leaves and plants for dyeing. So it's, yeah, plant dyed, is that what it's called? Natural dyeing. It's Valley Maker, and I bought, well, she had a shop update, and for her shop update you just have to be on it if you want some. So I was in as one of the first, if the color theme continues. So this is a pale pink. No, it's not pink, it's more rose and a bit of orange in it as well. They do show up brighter. They are more colorful in real life. So there are more sort of orangey cream in them. This is called, the breed Finn. 4-ply yarn, 300 meters, 100 gram. And it's a breed specific single source yarn. And sadly, I can't remember what gives the color, what plant. But I thought, you know, a sweater's quantity of this yarn, maybe another raglan jumper. I don't know yet. It just sits there, looking pretty on the shelf. So that's new purchases, and let's see if there is something in there for in the Christmas presents. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you today. It is now time for me to start working. I've done the video recording in the morning, so I will start turning on my computers. So I might just, when the exit video will be a bit, you will just see the workstation set up and the mess that I'm sitting in. But let me finish this podcast with just wishing you the best for the festive season. I hope you are well, everyone, and safe. I know that the COVID-19 is everywhere, and Europe and the States, you are in the midst of it. Here in Australia, we are doing very, very well at the moment. Stay safe, take good care of yourself and each other. Enjoy the time off over the holiday. Enjoy Christmas if you celebrate that. And let's meet up again, hopefully, in the new year.